What's going on, everyone? It's KB. And like it says down there, I love movies. And if you're like me, you love movies too. We got a special guest tonight. It seems like I say that all the time, but that's not necessarily the case. I think you came into my life when Ryan from The Disconnected first told me about an award show. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you're having an award show for physical media? And then he started telling me about, yeah, and Steven's going to do this, and Steven's helped me with that, and Steven's helping me run it. I'm like, who the hell is Steven?
I don't even know who Steven is.
Well, you know what? We're going to try to dive into that a little bit tonight. We have Steven Billings from Chasing Labels and the brand new movie Mutations, which I am excited to talk about. How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. Just doing my best to survive life.
Mm,
I'm a Pepsi man. I work for Pepsi. I put your sodas on the shelf, and that's what I do in my day job. And then everything else, whether it's taking care of a 3-year-old with my wife, or just trying my best to watch as many movies as possible, and then come and talk to you guys about it. So
yeah.
yeah,
For our interest, you are also a fellow physical media collector, like those things of plastic we have behind us all over the place.
yes,
I see a Gojira set right there off to your
it
left
is.
ear.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah. So, did you get in on that Biolante special that they had on Amazon? Not that everybody likes to buy from Amazon, but
No, let me be honest right now. Now, I wouldn't say my collecting habits have gotten a lot better,
hmm
but I do tend to try to ignore some of that stuff because, like, especially this time of the year,
yeah,
I'm using all the rest of the money I have and money I don't have to buy presents for other people. So I'm
yeah.
trying to take a break for this is the time of the year I take a break from buying for me and try to
hmm
buy for others. So
I tried.
I
I
know.
tried. I in past years I've easily dropped a couple hundred because I just said me first and then I'll worry about the children.
Exactly. Well, that's what I usually do.
Yeah.
But now I will say I have things coming in the mail only because I pre-ordered them. And I
Yeah.
mean it's not like I'm actively buying things, but they're coming in
Mhm.
because I ordered it like I just had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles come in, you know.
Yeah.
So that's came in and I think I have Dogma on the way from Umbrella, and I
Mhm.
was one of the few that is getting that Umbrella in America
Before they
uh,
pulled it.
before they pulled it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got things coming, but I'm not really actively buying right now. So I stay away from the sales. Like I didn't even buy anything from the Criterion sale,
Mm.
um, because I just there's images back in the day when I was a single person of buying 30 titles at a sale, and I'm
Yeah.
like I, can't, it's I'm
Crazy.
I'm just a little nuts. So
Yeah. Yeah. I I try to buy more from the Criterion flash sale to build up the towards a free gift card.
yeah,
But with the Barnes& and Noble, I use my credit card rewards, so
okay.
that's how I decide how many titles I'm buying. So I had one gift card for 80 and I had another two $25 ones, and that meant I was able to get, oh, I put it away already. This is what happens when you clean. The Antoine Doinel box set, the Truffaut box set,
Yes,
and then two pre-orders. I got Hell's Angels and Eyes Wide Shut.
that's great. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
well, flash sales for me, I buy one title usually at a flash sale, and
Mhm.
so yeah, I'm slowly building up points over many years.
Yeah. It took me
But
a while to get going.
I do have we do the channel does have a little bit of a awesome. We were able to get on the press list for Criterion,
Mhm.
so we do get some promotional Blu-rays. So that helps me with that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
So we, like Eyes Wide Shut, we just recently reviewed on there, and yeah, I mean, it, anytime you can get a little bit of help, the labels appreciate the exposure, then
Yeah.
it helps. So
Yeah. Keep going. Tell us more about the, podcast, and then we'll get into the game show, as I like to call it, later on. But first of all, Let me just show you people I am shilling for the company.
Oh yes, yes. I told him I would not come on here if he didn't wear that, and I
I'm
made him
just glad
pay.
you're
I made
not
him pay.
wearing it
I
too.
made him pay double for it too. I was like, you better pay more. No,
But I like the hoodie too, so
yeah.
represent. I am a longtime Padawan.
I appreciate it, man. Any little help representation that makes me feel good and warm and fuzzy.
Mhm.
It does. And there's other things on there, guys. There's tote bags. There's also other movie related wear over there. So just go check out B-Roll Bandits on Etsy. So,
Yep.
but the podcast. So yeah, Chasing Labels. It's of course physical media related podcast. It also used to be me and Andrew. Andrew Cabral is my co-host.
Shout out
Um,
Andrew.
yes, yeah, and Andrew to me is the heart of the show because he is the most dedicated person I've ever met to being ready for that show. Now it used to be a weekly show, but now it's an every other week show
Mhm.
because we like to take the time. We take a lot of time actually to watch the movies, to talk
Yeah.
about them, as many as possible, and that with that mission in mind, that took a toll on me. And of course,
Mm.
with all the things I go on, and I just couldn't keep up with it. So
Yeah, yeah.
Andrew is the sole host of that show now, and he runs it great. He does these long streams talking about physical media, and he does a great job. I'm glad he continued it, but there are other shows on our channel, and I participate in them. We got the Unwatched Pile,
Mhm.
which is a show where we pull them unwatched movies out of our collection, which I know we all have.
Oh,
Um,
we do.
yeah, and we watch them, we discuss, and then we then pair that with the film in our collections we have seen. So,
Yeah.
and then we do movies down memory lane, which is just kind of a throwback show. Some talk about movies we love that mean a lot to us,
Mhm.
and then there's the movie Mutations, which we'll get around to.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question about the philosophy behind chasing labels. But before we do, I just want to say hi to a few people in the chat. We got Adrian James on the check-in. Good morning. Hello, sir. I'll just put it like that. We got my man Princey Prince. See, feeling jolly already. Dude, do you not see like Turbo Man back there? I am all
It's
ready for the
turbo
holidays.
time.
I already got my Turbo Man and everything. I am ready. We got brother Della in the house. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Saying hi to the chat too. Welcome to everyone. If you've been here before, welcome back. If it's your first time here, hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us. People talking to each other. We'll come back to that. You mentioned two things I want to bring up immediately. The first thing is the unwatched pile.
Mhm.
And for me, like you said, Lord knows we all have them.
Yeah.
And because I've kind of moved away from a lot of blind buys, you know, the economy will help you do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know who it was. And maybe you were in the chat that night on Ryan's Reconnected show. Someone put in the chat, every time you go to the movie theater for the first time to see a movie, that's a blind buy. And that hit me.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, you're right. But I got limited room right now. So the difference between me going to a theater and seeing a movie for the first time, like I saw Hamnet before I went on my cruise. Um, one of my favorite movies of the year. Slow as molasses, but really, really
Yeah.
good. But when it comes to physical media, especially if you're a new collector, you know, just thinking about, you mentioned Criterion boutique labels on a
Mhm.
whole. It could be overwhelming these days. I mean, it's not like it used to be with just the biggies, the Arrows and the Criterions and all that. We got smaller labels, and if you're on Ryan's show on Thursday night, you're like, there is a label called Mondo Macabro and all these smaller labels, Deaf Crocodile and all that, that a lot of people don't know. So if you had to think about the philosophy or the mission behind Chasing Labels as a podcast,
Mhm.
just down to like one piece of essential advice for a beginner, what would that be?
Um, I mean, I think, and I think this is, you bring up disconnect. I think this is his mission too. I think uh, that as much as we love physical media,
Hmm.
um, that it starts with the movie. I think that's always been our kind of our mission. I mean, we love these things we collect, and yeah, we're obsessed with it. We
Yeah.
sometimes buy them blindly, and we obsess over packaging and features and things like that. But
Hmm.
when we talk about it on the show, the movie's what we're talking about first.
Yeah. First and
We
foremost.
and we really tried to I guess put our money where our mouth is by trying to be as informed about that as possible, which means trying to see these movies
Yeah.
and pushing ourselves to see these movies, even if
Hmm.
they're things that we're not like. Anytime a Vinegar Syndrome drop happens, you're really about to get thrown into the deep end of some
True.
trash and some things that you might not be able to find, or if you do find them, they're really low quality.
Hmm.
And
They look great.
well,
Great packaging.
they look great after they've worked on them. But
Yeah.
when you go to watch them to talk about them on a show where there's announcements and you haven't gotten the
Yeah.
physical media, because we're just like Ryan's show, we're a before it gets put out into the world.
Hmm.
So sometimes there's a movie and you're like, well, I can only find a YouTube rip from a early VHS copy to watch.
Condom
So
killer.
yeah, a condom killer. Yeah, trauma films are not easy to find unless they're on
Right.
YouTube. So it's that really I think is the soul of what we tried to do and what Andrew continues to do on that show
Hmm.
is just remind people that you know these things are cool things to have and they're fun, but let's talk about the movies. Let's talk about why we love these
Yeah.
movies or why we don't love these movies.
Yeah.
And it goes, but I mean, it's okay to talk about both.
Yeah.
But try to set a positive stance on remembering that. So
Yeah. I recently did that with Miss 45 before, probably like a week before the announcement that the 4K was coming out. And I like Abel's movies from, that gritty 70s, 80s New York kind of feel. So it was nice to rediscover that and then have the option of a 4K. So what I was
yeah,
starting to say is that a lot of my collection are things that I've seen before or something I know I'm going to rewatch,
sure.
several times. Like Dell was here in the chat saying that his unwatched pile grows like an unkillable weed. And that's pretty much my collection. A lot of things that I've seen before, so I'm not rushing to watch it again. And for a matter of fact, I do at least 5 movie goals every year. And I'm starting to think, of course, for 26. And one of them has to be let's crack some cellophane and get into some of these movies, watching, rewatching.
Yeah,
So I thought of this and I want to get your opinion on this. 52 weeks, 26 letters in the alphabet, if I remember correctly. If I could go through the alphabet twice in a year and just for a week, each week, like this week, it's the letter L. And I
yeah,
go to my shelf and I just pull unwatched stuff in letter L. And
yeah,
if I do it twice a year for each letter, I know by the second half of the year, I'm gonna have something L unwatched.
yeah.
So that's
That's a
my
good idea.
idea for it,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
because I think a lot of collectors, we get it can be a sale, like we were just saying with, Black Friday and everything, pretty much the month of November now, it's not even just Black Friday, or it could just be something new. And I still remember when Superman came out, I got that, I got Clueless, I got a couple other studio and a couple of boutique labels, and it sat on top of my DJ crate, which is on the side of my couch.
yeah.
For how long ago did Superman come out?
Since
Until like
July. Yeah,
yeah, until like 2 weeks ago. So you definitely have to do something to put a dent in that unwatched category of your movie collection. At least I know I do. But you mentioned the different segments that you have on the podcast network. You have the unwatched pile, and you
yeah. It's part of the reason I created the show.
yeah,
Was to do that denting, but we only do that monthly. So
yeah,
I've thought about maybe bumping it up to every by 2 times a month maybe. So we'll see. But
yeah. What I like about it is that on there you tackle a lot of films that just sat in your collection for way too long, and from that, the question is like, what is a single most common reason you think that most collectors, you included, develop a significant unwatched pile? Do you think it's like the stack of discs enhances or
Yeah.
diminishes the collecting experience? Why do you think we're like this? Why do we have unkillable weeds in our collection?
Uh, I mean, for myself, I guess the
Mhm.
way I would understand that is, I think part of my love of cinema really just comes from curiosity.
Yeah.
So my curiosity is so untamable. It's sometimes I'm a we're like hunter gatherers. I
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
gather
yeah.
all these things because I know I'm going to be interested. And it's not like when we say blind, I don't know that I would say I'm completely blind, because typically when there's a title, I look into it, I look who's the filmmakers, the people involved.
Right.
I get a little bit of insight, and then I decide I'm going to buy that thing.
Mhm.
And so there's usually a reason why I buy something. I don't just say, "Oh, that looks cool just from the cover," and I buy it. Like I do a little bit of something.
Some
And
of
so,
us
but
do.
but yeah, yeah. But I do think I would say it's just my kind of sense of curiosity, my sense of
Yeah,
wanting to explore cinema and all its different rabbit holes, and there's just always something new that you can learn
yeah,
about where something came from, not only through the films, but through the features that are on these discs. And it's just becomes an endless, exciting ride. And I think I'm always just looking for the next ride.
yeah.
Um, so yeah,
I think a lot of people fall either under that category of curiosity or just pack rat mentality. Like there are some physical media collectors that, if they weren't collecting that, they'd be collecting 3 other things. And I think
yeah,
it just happens to be movies right now. It might be something else in time to come. And not to stereotype, but I find it usually falls between those 2 categories.
I think there's, and whether I don't know, I think this would be generalization, but
Yeah.
I do think that collectors probably, to some extent, collect because of the comfort of it.
Mm,
I think there could be a reason for that comfort, that, whether it's trauma in your life, or, whatever it is, that I think that
yeah.
there's people I think collect things because of there's a comfort to it.
Mhm.
Having things around that you like, and being able to look at them, be able to watch them, whatever it is, whether it's a baseball card collection, like we tend to want to gather things around us that appeal to us.
Mhm.
So I think there's a certain level of comfort food, comfort that makes us as be collectors. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's I think that's normal. I think that's
Mhm.
normal.
We got some collectors join us in the chat. I saw Johnny come in. What's up, cool kid? Thanks for hanging out with us. And Dell says he likes the alphabet idea. Feel free to
It's a
steal
good
it,
idea.
man. I'm going to do a wheel of names, put a letter on each one, spin it 26 times, and then start again.
Hey,
Do it all
hashtag.
over.
Make sure you hashtag that so we can keep up with it.
Yeah,
Mm.
I got to come up with a good hashtag for it. I don't think 26 letters, 52 weeks will draw too much attention, but you know, I tried it last year with Unwrap, but then I
Yeah.
ended up just doing more of titles that just sat on the shelf way too long unopened. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I'm unwrapping that. It doesn't matter that I had it since, I first got my Blu-ray player. So
Oh, well,
I'm unwrapped. Ooh,
you make
yeah.
sure that there ain't no disc rot on that
I
thing, though.
know, I know. I've only had disc rot on one thing, and that was a CD. It was a Sheila E.
Oh.
CD, and not the first album, second album. And I opened it up. I was so excited to play it, and it didn't play.
Mm,
But I was able to rip it. So thank
that's
God for
good. That's good.
digital media. Philosophical question from Dell. He says, if you've seen the movie, but not the particular release, hi mama, do you still count it as an unwatched film? For example, I've seen Bound, but not the 4K Criterion I own. That's a good question.
I would probably consider it as a watched movie. I mean, like I got releases in my collection that I've for sure seen the movie. Like you said, specifically more modern films that I've had a chance to go see at the theater.
Mhm.
You brought up Superman. I bought that as well, and I saw it in theaters and haven't watched the release yet. But I wouldn't consider that an unwatched movie
Yeah.
selection. So yeah,
I would refer to the letterbox thing. I've seen it before,
yeah.
but it's unopened. So,
Now,
yeah,
is it a different experience to watch it at home? Yeah,
of
it
course.
is. It is.
Of course. There are
But
times when I've seen a movie in the theaters and then I watch it at home and all of a sudden I'm like, "Ooh, this don't hit the same."
it doesn't hit the same sometimes.
Sisu was like that. If you've seen Sisu, I had
I
a
have.
grand old time in the theater seeing that. It was during a film festival. I don't know if Ryan ever told you about Panic Fest, the one we have here.
I've listened. I listened to the podcast where he interviewed you.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah, so I
I
think you guys
I
talk about it
definitely
in there.
mentioned that.
Yeah, yeah,
But, it was like the last movie of the night. People access to the bar all day
yeah.
long from 10 o'clock in the morning. We had a grand old time. I watched it at home when Best Buy came out with the Steelbook. Eh, not the same.
Some movies are meant for sure. Like I think all movies are meant to be seen in the theater. I think that
Mhm.
there's obviously it's all subjective about how you see a movie or whether you like it or not. But um, yeah, I think that there's some movies that just hit differently in that big screen,
Yeah.
and that's why so many filmmakers these days advocate for it, because some of these guys that advocate for it understand that ability to watch it with others, watch it with strangers, and kind of have that communal experience uh, is what brings some of that magic to
Oh,
their
yeah.
movies.
Oh, yeah.
It's part of it.
You
So
can't watch Avatar at home or even on a tablet or phone and get the same experience. Matter of fact, this new one's coming out. I will see it,
yeah,
but it's not being added to my collection because I will never watch it at home. I don't care
I'll
how
be
big my screen is.
I'll be
It's
honest
not
with
the
you.
same.
I tried to look. I have a strained relationship with James Cameron because I'm
You and
just
I
like
both.
because I mean, and this has nothing to do with the fact that he might be an asshole, but
Mhm.
just that I think that he's kind of like overrated. I mean, he's a good visual. He's just like George Lucas. He's all about the technology, the visuals, and
Mhm.
he can do that, but he's not really a great writer or anything. He's not no great storyteller
Yeah.
necessarily. He's come up with a few good movies, and you know, but
Yeah.
Avatar, I think, is just a little bit of it's an overrated thing in general. And for me, I remember going to the theater, standing out in the line, excited about that first movie, and I fell asleep. So I was excited about it, guys, and then I still fell asleep in that movie. So and
You
I've never
waited too
really gone
long.
back, honestly. I didn't see the sequel. I'm not seeing the newest one. I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm okay. Maybe one day I'll get around to it and
Well,
be like, damn, I missed out. But
no. I will say this, you are also in a very interesting, time of life. You were talking about, reducing the amount of movies that you purchase these days. For me, it was, I stopped being a sneakerhead. So I had my movie collection and I had what they would call in the industry my dead stock collection.
mm,
So you wear some, you put some on ice,
yeah.
and all that stopped. It was like, wow, it's a year later. I'm still wearing these Jordans. Beautiful. So I understand even something like going to the movies, say it's a say it's a date night for you and your wife. You got to be particular about what you spend your time
Sure.
and money on to go see. So if you're not united in that choice, you might have to do like a one for her, one for you kind of thing.
For sure. I mean, that definitely plays a part. I also think about the fact that, like these, I'm interested in, I'm always going to be interested in anything, and I'll watch anything
Yeah.
especially if somebody recommends it. But like, you know, my movie journey has brought me to a place where I'm looking for other things in movies, and something like that doesn't give me what I'm looking for. And
Hmm.
I can get a general idea what that movie's about. And I think it's what the first two other Avatar movies are about. They're the same thing.
Yeah.
We get it.
Unobtainium.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, so it's like, so, y- sometimes movies just have to wait for another time. And his,
Yeah.
I love Terminator 2. I'm a big fan. I love Aliens.
Hmm.
Titanic's great.
Yeah.
But
Stop there.
wait, that's about it. That's about it for me.
Oh man, what's up, T? Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope your Christmas movie advent calendar thing is going well. If you're doing that again this year, we got Mama Blu-ray in the house. What is up, Bonnie? I know I saw you. There you are. Hello. Um. Oh yeah, Dell is a big fan. He calls it Crapitar and Crapitar the way of the toilet water.
And you know what also pisses me off about Avatar is that I'm a big fan of The Last Airbender, as in the cartoon, the
Same.
animated series. And so
Got
when
that up
that
there.
yeah, when that yeah, oh it's an amazing series. And then the Korra series, and it's all awesome. And so when that movie came out and stole the title of Avatar: The Last Airbender from, like, I was like, and the Shyamalan movie was about to come out too, even though that
Mm-hmm.
movie's terrible.
So
Um,
bad.
um, it is like, nah, Avatar is our name, and
Yeah.
we take it from you, so you have to call yourself the Last Airbender. That pissed me off too. It rubbed me the wrong way. So, um, but yeah, let's get on. I'll leave Cameron alone. The only other filmmaker we could talk about is Tarantino, which he's pissed me off again.
Ah.
He's pissed me off today as well with you. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
No, please tell the audience.
Oh, the Paul Dano thing. You didn't see
Oh, about what you call it?
him saying he's basically the shittiest actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, but he was making a reference to
There will be
I,
blood.
There Will Be Blood. I I have two movies together in my head, that and No Country.
Oh
So
shit! All right,
that's
you
me.
got blood. I was gonna say the it clowns in your room.
That's me. I don't know why. Maybe they came out at the same time, but yeah, There Will Be Blood. And he said it would be an excellent movie if Dano wasn't in it. So,
Dude, he
ugh,
is. Well, look, you can have your opinions and whatever. It's the how he did it, why he did it, like for no reason. Like they were talking
yeah,
about his favorite movies of the 21st century, and then they get to There Will Be Blood, and he just takes it to like,
yeah.
I hate Paul Dano and he
You just
sucks.
roasted him.
He just for no reason just like roasted the shit. I'm like, and then on and let me preface this. I'm a Tarantino fan in the sense of his movies. I'm going to see the Whole Bloody Affair tomorrow.
I'm
Like
going Sunday.
yeah. So I like his movies, but
Hmm.
as a personality, as a film person,
Yeah,
I kind of don't like him
yeah. A lot of
because
people are like that.
yeah, he can sometimes give off kind of an elitist attitude, but
Mhm.
also his whole thing about like, I'm only going to make 10 movies. Just shut up. Please just shut up.
Just make the movies.
If
Who's
you got
counting?
something yeah,
But he also puts it in his title cards too, just in case you didn't know. The fourth film by
who gives a shit? You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that is all these filmmakers that he reveres so much did not give a shit about what he's doing
No,
right now. Like they
no.
all made movies until they couldn't make movies anymore.
Yep.
Like so, like fucking look in the mirror. Like, dude, like if you want to be like your heroes,
Hmm.
you do it because you love to do it, and you keep doing it until you can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
and you learn something from them
yeah,
instead of well, I I,
being
I
afraid
really
to
think
make bad movies. Like
yeah, there's other people with that mentality, and they're just getting started. But we won't talk about them tonight.
Jesus.
You know,
Ugh.
any any kind of oaks or anything like that. We got Tiana saying, "Hey, thank you." Drew picked some crazy ones so far. I'm glad you two are enjoying it. Dell says that There Will Be Blood and No Country came out pretty close and competed for Best Picture at the Oscar, so he
Yep.
links them together too. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I have other movies like that, like Friends with Benefits and whatever the other one was, two rom-coms with
Yeah, I know
basically
what
the
you're
same
talking
plot.
about. Yeah. Yeah.
Same plot. Same plot. Um, oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. The the movies down memory lane segments. I
Okay.
love that.
Is
I
that fun?
really do. The way you and Andrew just pick films and they're close to your heart. You don't care. It doesn't have to be something modern. It doesn't have to be an A-list film. But I mean, you could go like Lion King and Willy Wonka. How do you how do I want to phrase this? How does discussing foundational, non-boutique in a lot of cases releases compared to breaking down like a new 4K restoration or how does that trip down memory lane approach help you view the value of physical media?
Yeah, so I mean, like that show. We also have it's three of us. So there's my friend Dan Skip Allen as well, and
Mhm.
so we take turns picking a movie. I would say that this show is more movie related than it is physical media related,
Yeah.
because we're really just talking about movies that mean a lot to us. So it's really, I wanted to, because we're a lot of what we do is physical media related, and yeah, we always focus on the movies when we talk about them. But I wanted, we let the announcements kind of gauge what we talk about,
Mhm.
and I wanted to create a show that allowed us to pick them things, because as much as I love discovering things, sometimes you want to go back and watch things that you love, and I needed to make a show that would require that. So
Yeah.
we yeah, just decide, and the criteria has to always be that these movies mean a lot to us, and not just, oh, I love them, they're just such a
Mhm.
comfort, but like that they had a profound effect on us in some way
Yeah.
that has kept it in our, even if we hadn't seen it in many years, it's still on our minds, and it's still
Yeah.
something we talk about, and every time we watch it there's something that we pull from it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's good having that relationship with films. Even I mean, it's obviously new movies, and just it keeps you curious, but
Right.
also with the films you've seen many times, having that kind of relationship, and still questioning it, and still looking at it from different ways, and that's what we do. I think that's what that show's about for me. So
Yeah. It's great, and I was thinking about it the other night because on Thanksgiving night, my kids did a little conversation with me, a little return, because they did it like Christmas 2 years ago, and during the recording of it, we discovered that my youngest, Maya, had never seen The Matrix.
oh
And of
wow.
course, they're like exactly, everyone's like, "You haven't seen,"
Oh
like, she went upstairs and we had guests, and she announced that because they're like, "What are we gonna watch?" And I'm like, "Well, it's Thanksgiving, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, or Creature,
yeah,
let's put
yeah,
the fun in dysfunctional," you know?
yeah.
And, she said, "I haven't seen Matrix," and one of our friends who was, with us for Thanksgiving said, "What?" So she's like, "Daddy, I promise I won't fall asleep." And we came back down there. It was just me and her, cranked up the surround, doing the 4K, which the Dolby Atmos on that is really, really good. I'm
Yeah,
surprised. It's the only one of the series that I upgraded, and I have the last one, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, she really enjoyed it. And I
that's
was
great.
just thinking about, like you said, there are movies that we may not see it all the time. I think I only watch it when I got the 4K once. But before that, Blu-ray, whatever. I don't know when was the last time I seen it, but there's a certain amount of nostalgia with movies like that that just stay with you. And it could be 5 years, 10 years. Like I have nostalgia for Parasite.
Yeah,
And, I just remember back to that time and when Criterion came out with their version and seeing it in black and white. And something about black and white transfers changes the movie. It could be Logan or
mm,
um, Fury Road or anything like that. It just changes the way the movie hits for you. I don't know if
yeah,
you experience the same thing.
yeah. I mean, I can tell you, watching The Mist in black and white
Mm.
is one that really, I mean, like
Oof,
I liked the movie
that
before,
freaking
but then
movie.
when I watched The Mist, when I watched the black and white version,
Hmm.
first of all, it helps make the effects in the movie look tons
Yeah.
better, because
Super
now,
contrasty.
yeah, yeah, and it hides the kind of bad CGI, because
Hmm.
now it kind of makes it feel like an old movie, which
Right.
then plays into that kind of like not real, but it's okay, like
Hmm.
so.
Like
But
that
that movie just,
sci-fi horror at midnight or something like that.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I've definitely had that, and I've definitely had movies that um usually has to do with seeing it at the theater that I
Hmm.
remember the most. Like we talked about There Will Be Blood. I remember, I think I saw that in a double feature with Blood Diamond.
Oh, wow.
It was either that or Children of Men.
Even
Um,
better.
I know, right? I know. It was a
Wow.
good day. That's why I remember it.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it was both movies were just so good. I was like,
yeah.
God damn it, this is a good day. Um, and I just remember that first shot in There Will Be Blood, with like the landscape, and you hear the score, that them all of them like all the orchestra, like that really shrill sound of the orchestra, like almost like a horror movie.
Mhm.
And it just, that stays with me till now, even to today, and just little things like that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Even Hush. Hush is like that too. It's a different experience, but it's also because of the muted soundtrack and everything like that. So
yeah,
I like when they do stuff like that
yeah.
uh, with different versions. We mentioned it in the beginning, but how did the Rewind Awards come about between you and Ryan?
So just happenstance. We both at the same time. We're obviously doing both our podcasts, talking physical
Hmm.
media, and had been doing it for a little while. And I think we just, funny enough, I guess it was meant to be. We just both had kind of the same idea at the same time, and I knew that not only because it's a lot of work, projected to be a lot of work, but
Yeah,
also, like when you start something, you know, it's good to obviously join forces with somebody that's got an audience as well. He, Disconnected was gathering its audience. We had our audience. I was like, dude, like I really like how he presents himself. He's like, I could tell just from a distance that he was, at the time, he was very vocal about like making sure that there's an integrity to talking about physical media, that we're not just blurting out stuff,
right.
sending misinformation out there. Like that was the kind of person I knew I wanted to team up with to try. So I reached out to him, and he was just like, dude, I've been wanting to do that too. We're just like, okay, well, hey, let's do this thing, So it was just kind of a happenstance of both having a similar idea in mind. And then we spent, I think, a couple months really just coming up with the categories, ideas, and kind of just getting it to where it is. And
Yeah.
he's continued to grow it for sure with his connections. And I've taken a step back from being like intimately involved with it. Like I still do the video work on the movie. I don't do obviously do all the stuff for like I don't do all the work on like the presentations and stuff, but all the graphics that come in and stuff that show the
Yeah.
present, that's me. So, but
Looks
he's,
good.
yeah. Oh, I appreciate it. I do as much as I can in a small amount of time. And but Ryan is taking that shit to a different level, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. I love it. So
So, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, because we kind of jumped into it and we didn't really talk about it, but we are talking about the Shell Shock Rewind CSC Awards. I probably got that in the wrong order.
shit. Yeah, Shelf
Shell
Shock
Shock Rewind
Rewind,
Awards.
the Disc Awards. Yeah, yeah. It's got a
So,
long title.
yeah, but basically, it's an award show that celebrates physical media. And I know for me, from what is this, the third, fourth year now?
This will be its fourth year.
Yeah, I always leave the show with, and I try to do it sometimes within the show, with something that I need to check out. I remember it was either the first or the second year got me to check out Out of the Blue, the Severin release.
That was, I think, I want to say that was the might have been the first year.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I was on that one, and I know that I was super vocal about it.
yeah,
I was like, "This should be the winner," and
yeah.
then of course it didn't win. But
And I
yeah,
think the big winner the next year was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the second site
yeah,
release.
yeah,
And I had a chance to be a presenter last year, so that was
yeah,
cool. So I just like it because the categories are things that we as physical media collectors really distinguish. Like there's a difference between a good studio release and something we would see on a boutique label, like, you know, also imports versus being here in the States. So
yeah,
having a studio put out like the Exorcist Bible edition, which I think was one of the winners, that's something you would normally see from a boutique label. So to see that quality from a studio is kind of really, really cool.
yeah.
And, other winners like that. But what are like some of the biggest challenges, whether it's you in the past, Ryan, whoever, for curating the categories, the nominees, just, there's so many releases. It's like a big sheer volume of releases. How do you come up with like I said, just curating all that stuff?
Well, I will say that in the second year, Ryan, being because Ryan was the one that was kind of the force behind it all, he did do some adding and some subtracting on his own
Yeah, yeah,
moving forward. And we did have a few like back and forths that were debate. We had some debates about categories, and I still have some reservations about some of these categories, but he deserves to put the show out that he wants to put out because he does all the work.
yeah.
So I would never um you know poo poo on anything that's going on that show. But I think the idea is always to try to cover as much as possible.
Right.
Try to we tried to create categories that not only, like you said, like hit on certain niches, whether he added steel books, things like that, things that collectors will appreciate, but also
Yeah.
finding ways to cover as much ground so that as many different possible winners can be shown. And I think that the also the I think every category needs to be able to stand on its own.
Hmm.
It has to feel
I
like
agree.
they're all important, and that's where I think there's a couple categories that are a little step on their feet a little bit.
Hmm.
But like I said, I don't want to get into stepping on any toes on that. So
I mean, some of them I feel are like it's just like, let's say, the Academy Awards. There are certain categories that people look forward to.
yeah,
The Big Six or whatever it is, the Big Five. And there are other ones that people are like, "Oh, I guess I could go to the bathroom now." So
yeah,
I see the analogy there with that. But I think what I like about it is that it's growing, whether it's various hosts, different presenters. I'm sure people were surprised to see people like Joe Lynch and Sean Baker. And it's like,
yeah,
wow, wasn't he just at the Academy Awards? How does he
exactly.
have time to be a presenter on, what other people might see as this small award show that's just being streamed over YouTube or whatever. But I like you said, it's the connections that you build and so forth. And I like to see that it's growing, and hope I'm just looking forward to like where it's going to go next.
Yeah, and Ryan he announced recently that he's going to be taking kind of a step back, but I think there are plans to keep it going,
Yeah.
in some form. But I think obviously the mission behind that is just it's community, and it's just that, like you said, the love of physical media and finding a way to celebrate that and
Yeah.
keep it alive in this in this small way. And I think that the people that decide to get involved in it understand that. Some people are going to get caught up in, oh, this didn't win or that didn't get nominated or blah blah blah, and it's like, guys,
Hmm.
just like the Oscars or the Golden Globes or whatever award show,
Yeah.
not everything's going to win. Not everything's going to get spotlighted. There's always going to be things that should have been on there, but didn't make it on there. But
Exactly.
ultimately, be happy for what got got a little bit of time, and we do our best to give that to a lot of things.
Yeah,
And
because
so,
I mean, just some of the nominees be like, I've never heard of this.
yeah,
And all of a sudden you see it being nominated 4, 5, 6 times. You're like, ooh, maybe I should check this out. Of course, sometimes the way the market is going these days, it's long gone, out of
yeah,
print, out of circulation. But you never know. There's eBay and Macari for those purposes.
yeah.
I've delayed this long enough.
Oh,
Movie Mutations.
mm.
Tell the people all about it. Now that you have an episode out there, first of all.
Yes. So yeah, we recently set out the first episode of Movie Mutations a couple weeks ago. Um, so to give a little backstory, I did mention, so Chasing Labels, our flagship show, talks physical media. I was on that show for 3 years, doing it with Andrew, and I got to a point where I just kind of was kind of over it. I was like, I love physical media, I still love physical media, but talking about it for 3 hours plus, every week or every other week, I'm just kind of like, what I've learned about myself is like, if I'm not trying to do something creative, if I get stuck in too much of a routine, I get really restless and I start to kind of like mentally check out. And so that was kind of where I was getting with that show. I wasn't able to put the time in anymore. I wasn't able to watch as many movies, and I
Right.
was just kind of needed to step away from it. So I stepped away from it. Andrew took it over completely, and I was looking for my next project. And so I just wanted to do something with a little more production, a little bit more, not something that was necessarily live, something that was just creative. Because at my core, I'm a creative person,
Yeah.
and I'm an idea person. I always got something on my mind for an idea. I got a notebook full of ideas,
I
and
love that.
so yeah, and it just goes on and on. And so whether it's music, whether it's film, whether it's whatever, storytelling's just that's my thing. So, um, so I started thinking about games and where what that space was in YouTube, and I didn't really think I don't feel like I'm coming across a lot of types of games, game shows, any kind of thing like that. So it started there, and then it moved on to like, how can I incorporate a game show movie thing? I was like, I don't want to just do movie trivia. Movie trivia, we've seen it before. Movie the Schmodown, I know that was a popular thing for a while. Like, there's movie trivia leagues out there. That I don't want to do that.
Right.
Um, so I was like, but that thing that you do with your friends where you're like talking about Star Wars or talk about that thing where you're like, oh, what if this director directed Star Wars, or
Right.
this
Right.
actor played Han Solo, or this, like that thing, that kind of Mad Libs style of talking about your movies with your friends is something I wanted to capture. So I figured out a way. I feel like I figured out a way to do that, one classic movie at a time, one favorite movie at a time. And we do it kind of in three sections. We go through the genre, we go through the director and the cast, and slowly you mutate some of your favorite movies into something completely different through means of creative pitching, you know. What they pitch on depends on how well they do in movie trivia. So it's something I could sit here and explain, but I'd rather you just go watch it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, ooh. I'm just gonna throw up your link tree because that's probably the best way for everybody to find everything,
Yes.
including is it mainly the Facebook?
You can go to the Facebook group, but I would say, like you can go to the either Chasing Labels YouTube page, and Movie Mutations has its own YouTube page,
Hmm.
so you can go there and subscribe there and keep up on both pages. Both pages you can keep up with Movie Mutations. So
Yeah. But definitely check out everything under
yes,
Chasing
please.
Labels and Movie Mutations because it's fun. I was I was on Reconnected watching when you and Ryan did kind of like a sample round of it
Yeah.
and had my wife half asleep asking me what this Russian type of noir is. And I was like, I'll just show you a movie one day and you won't remember what the reference is, but I'll just show it to you. But quickly, let's give an example for those that,
Okay. So you want me to give like a movie, like do like an
yeah, yeah,
example of
yeah,
gameplay?
yeah.
So like, okay, so say pick a movie, KB, pick a movie.
Jaws.
What Jaws? Okay, so Jaws. We know Jaws is directed by Steven Spielberg. You got Richard Dreyfuss. You got, um, you know, let me make sure I'm pulling up to get all the names right. I mean, let me
Mm-hmm.
get all the players right.
Got Roy Schneider,
Yeah, Roy Schneider, Robert Shaw,
Robert
and so
Shaw.
them are I missed it.
And you might have people arguing what the genre is, but
Yeah, but essentially, let's just say it's an animal attack film. I mean,
okay.
it's what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
drama, animal attack, horror movie, whatever you want to say.
Hmm.
So when we go into round one, what you would do is you would, before the game starts, there's two players, and they would be given predetermined genres that they might pitch with. So in
Hmm.
this case, let's say the three I give them is sex comedy, space opera, and a giallo film.
I
All right.
see some kind of sperm whale being involved.
Well, maybe that's your pitch, not mine. But so then what we would, and also what there is there's two mystery picks. The mystery picks are left for the loser of the trivia
Mm,
round. So then the first round, the trivia is based on the events of Jaws in our
mhm.
case. And so whoever wins in trivia, whoever gets to 5 points first, gets to pick for them 3 predetermined genres. And then the loser picks from the two mysteries. Say I lose in trivia to you, and I have to pick from either a hitman film or I don't know. How about a Christmas movie? And so I pick Christmas movies. So I'm like, I can come up with a good Christmas movie for Jaws. And so now we both have to pitch, and you pick. Which one would you pick? Space opera, sex comedy. Which one are you picking?
A sex comedy.
Okay, so then KB is going to pitch sex comedy version of Jaws to the audience, or to the 3 judges. There's 3 judges. I meant to
Mhm.
mention that. And I am pitching Christmas movie. And so, thank you. I watch it, please. And then, so whoever's pitch is better, or based off of what the judges, there's 3 judges. Whoever thinks whichever pitch is better wins that round. And then going forward, Jaws. Say I won. Say it's Christmas movie won.
Mhm.
And so now going forward, Jaws is this Christmas movie that I've pitched. And so then we go into round 2 where we talk about the director. And of course, Steven Spielberg's the original director.
So you
So
can't pick
now,
him.
so obviously can't pick him. And now similarly, you're going to get 3 predetermined directors. In this case, we got Spike Lee, Quentin Tarantino, and James Cameron are 2 of our favorites. And
I'm
so,
definitely going Cameron.
yeah. And so now we once again do trivia. Now, in this case, round 2's trivia is all based around the director, Steven
Mhm.
Spielberg, of the original movie. And there's different styles of trivia in that round. And so whoever has the most points at the end of that trivia, once again wins and gets to pick from the 3 selections. And then
Right.
the 2 mystery selections, once again that happens. Say one of the mysteries. Say I win the trivia and I pick James Cameron, and you have to pick from the 2 mysteries, which is Ryan Johnson and Penelope Spears. Which one are you picking?
Ryan Johnson.
Okay. So we both pitch our directors in this Christmas movie.
Mhm.
We have to remember that the Christmas movie pitch, and we have to direct. You got to say why Ryan. You have to say why Ryan Johnson's good to direct that movie, and I have to say why James Cameron's good to direct. And whoever wins, once again, moving forward, say you win. So now it's
Mhm.
Ryan Johnson directing a Christmas movie version of Jaws. And so we go forward into the next round, which is now focused on the cast. And in this round, there is no predetermined anything. It's just 5 questions right at you. And whoever has the most points at the end gets an advantage where he can make his opponent pitch with an actor of his choice. So in this case, we'll be recasting, of course, the main 3.
Right.
For recasting the Roy Schneider character, Brody. Say you win the trivia, and you can make me pitch him with, I don't know, Bruce Willis, or that would probably be a good pick. But like,
Yeah.
you could make me pitch with anybody,
Right.
and so that's the advantage you get in that round if you win trivia. But then from there, we both go back and forth with each character. Similar thing. Whoever the judges think has the better pitch wins until you get to the end. There's a 4th mystery character. And then, honestly, it's one of them games where it doesn't really matter who wins.
No, it's the fun.
It's the fun of it. It's the
Yeah.
journey. And then at the end, we come up with title and tagline. And that can either win you the game, or sometimes there's ties, and it doesn't matter.
That's
So,
so much fun.
so
I want to ask you one last kind of obscure mutation question,
okay.
but I just want to introduce you to Stacy. Stacy has a bunch of questions. Don't feel like you
Okay.
have to answer any of them.
Sure.
Favorite Western villains?
Hmm.
What if
I
Kubrick directed 1941? What if Tom Cruise wasn't big?
These are some good ones.
uh, it could be a movie Mutations. Favorite
Yeah.
commentary of the decade? I will answer this one, and it's for me, it's Mallrats or Chasing Amy, where Kevin Smith starts off by saying F Laserdisc or F DVDs or whatever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm watching it on a DVD. Um,
Well, I always come back to the Tropic Thunder commentary.
oh, because he stays in
He
character
stays
until
in
the end.
character until the end. I always love that one. It's always my favorite.
That is
Can't help it.
great.
Yeah.
This is the best question here. Winona Ryder should be Dorothy Zborniak for the Golden Girls reboot. Diane Weiss for Estelle Getty. I want Stacy to come on the show just to prove to people she is not a bot because these questions are so out of left field. Just come in and do the 5 takes. That's all I want you to do. And you could ask me questions because I these are just like so left of center. I don't know what to think about.
I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up.
How are winners determined? I don't. It's a point.
Well, what there? Yeah, there's kind of a point. It's about who affects the change of the movie the most. So, like,
Yeah.
if you win a round, yeah, you're essentially getting a point. But like I said, I mean, yeah, you could technically have a winner. Like, it's by round, so you win the pitch, you win that round. If you get in the character round, the cast round, whoever wins more of the changes in the cast wins that round. So if you win all 3, then it's over. Like it's but it's and then you get to the title tag. Like somebody could get swept. It's never happened. But yeah, somebody could just sweep the whole game. It wouldn't be as fun, but
No. The fun, like you said, the fun is in the journey of getting there
exactly.
because by the end, it's so wacky that
There's dude, there's some we've done many, to work this game out, and I think the game is still growing. Like I think
yeah.
we still got to figure out some things, like especially like with gameplay, like and me controlling the game. Like I gotta sometimes, I talk about reining in Andrew. I gotta rein this in sometimes. Sometimes because the game comes in at like 2 hours, around 2 hours, and I want it to be a little shorter.
Right.
So like some of that's just reining in the pitching a little bit, reining in some of that, maybe even cutting back on some of the trivia. But
You need a
it's really,
timer,
yeah, well,
from what
I
I've
did
seen.
that at first. When we did
Yeah.
practice games, I had a timer, and the timer put pressure on people that I didn't like. So I
True, true.
stopped caring about the timer so much and just tried to make sure I mitigated it as much as I could. And sometimes I just get caught up in it. So,
Yeah.
but it's the game still has to work out some things. And this is our first season. So it is going to be a show that comes in seasons and we take breaks and we work on it more. And,
Yeah.
and so the game, yeah,
I would
it's great.
say everyone check it out and leave comments. Leave
Oh yeah,
comments on the
please.
YouTube because the great thing about it is you can only help it get better.
Exactly. I want to create something that people can get involved in and want to be in, and just the point of movie Mutations is about getting to that heart of like what it means to love movies. Like I think it's that creative juice inside all of us, that creative thing. Like like we love movies and we love watching them, but I think we all would love to make a movie if we could. Like, and you would like love to like everybody has ideas. Everybody's a critic. Everybody's
Yeah.
got like their own take on something, and I think this gives people an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And some people are better at it than others, but it's usually always fun. We've had some practice games with some of the craziest shit you've ever heard.
I love it.
Um,
I want to be a judge straight
well,
up.
I want you to be in the game too.
I
You're not going to play?
both
Please,
both.
KB, please.
So with that in mind, talking about everybody who wants to be in a movie, I think every physical media collector also wants to create a segment, a bonus feature, if you will.
Okay.
So before we get to the 5 takes, my final question for you is, and I had to write this down, so I'm going to read it here. You are given carte blanche. You can create one dream bonus feature or supplement for any film that doesn't currently exist. It could be a director's commentary, a documentary, a deleted scene. What film and which supplement would you choose to produce? And of
Oh,
course, why?
jeez, dude, on the spot.
I try to read it slow to give you time
No,
to
I know,
think.
I know, I know. Man, the only thing that comes straight to this is my first gut, like, and this is going to be probably weird for some people
Mm,
because it's not like it's not like a super like well-known movie, but there's a movie called Charlie Bartlett. I love. And it's a movie that just really hasn't gotten much of a physical media presence. And so if it could get a good release, I would want to do a video essay about it.
Hmm.
Visual essays are my favorite thing.
Yeah, me
You know?
too. I
Yeah,
watch them on YouTube all the time. There's some people like every frame of painting.
yeah,
I wish Tony Jaa would make some more,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I love that stuff.
yeah. I love that. I think it's the most. It can be the most educational and the most. It's the best version of learning in that about film in that way, because like a commentary is nice, but like I can get distracted by just watching the movie when there's a commentary, and sometimes certain commentaries they don't necessarily focus on what I want to focus on
Hmm.
about the movie either. So it's like it, but
Oh, this was
me,
my favorite part.
yeah,
How
yeah,
many
yeah, yeah,
times you got to say that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So a visual essay on the right thing, whether it's about like a filmmaker's impact on something or whatever. But like with Charlie Bartlett, the movie, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, um,
Mm-mm.
but it's a movie about a young kid who is from a rich family, but like he's always kind of been an outcast because his father went to prison, and so he's kind of gotten kicked out of every school that he's went to, and he's trying to find his kind of his people,
Mhm.
and like he kind of figures out his people through basically becoming a therapist for everybody else, and he avoids his own problems by listening to other people's problems.
Mm.
And so I there's a mental health aspect to the movie that I love, and I they kind of did this in a show, Sex Education. You've ever heard that show, Sex Education? It's
Yeah.
similarly to that. This was before that show, but it
Mhm.
has that same kind of thing where the kid becomes like a therapist for his school. But in that case, it was more focused on sex. But
Yeah.
in this case, it was more focused on kind of everything, any kind of problems that were kids of that age were having. He would listen, and he helps a lot of people, and then kind of does some somewhat. And he starts getting into the medication things. He learns his lesson, but like, and
Yeah.
there's other aspects to it and stuff. And I would love to dig into that movie because that movie just doesn't get no attention. So
I just put it on my letterbox.
awesome.
R.I.P. Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, and fun fact about him, we have the exact same birthday,
Oh, get
same
out.
age, same day. Yeah, yep,
Wow.
yep.
Currently on Amazon Prime, so you could check it out, as well as Canopy and Hoopla
Yeah,
if
Robert
you're
Downey
into
Jr. is
those.
in that movie
Mhm.
as well. He plays the principal of the school.
Very
Uh,
cool.
so yeah.
Very cool. All right. Are you ready for the 5 takes?
Oh, I think maybe. I don't
All
know.
right. All right. 5 takes, the 5 questions we ask every guest at the end of the conversation. We start the way we always do with number 1. Name the film that made you fall in love with the movies.
Well, funny enough, man, you've already brought it up. Um, I watched this movie for the first time. My dad, he built a clubhouse for us. I was probably around 10.
Aw.
He called it a clubhouse, but it was really a tool shed. He made it for us, but it was really like half for him when we
Yeah.
grew out of it. But we would sometimes go out in camp outside. We'd go out in the clubhouse, we camp, and we would bring a little TV and means of watching a movie. And so I, for the first time, watched this movie in out there in the cold under, kind of camping outside, The Matrix.
Get
Um,
out. Okay.
yeah, yeah. And so, I was always I didn't understand that how much I loved movies at that time. Of course, I loved like Toy Story, and I loved the things that my parents had in their VHS collection, Homeward Bound,
Mhm.
even early on starting to watch like Stallone movies and things like that, Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff, like
Yeah.
even at that age was watching that stuff. Demolition Man,
Love it.
uh, and so this movie was put in, and I don't know whose choice it was. I don't know if it was mine, that was my parents, but we put this in, and from the beginning, I feel like it was an out of body experience. Like I saw myself watching this movie and
Mhm.
just being just completely consumed by it, whether it was the visuals or just like the religious, but later on it became
Yeah.
the religious allegories, all the writing and on all the things that
Messianic
went
and
along
all
with it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just over the years has just continued to just take me every time. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, God, this movie just is like exactly what I want from movies. Like it's inventive, it's visually stunning. It's got characters that I love, like that are interesting. That I want to see. I care about what happens to them, and it's just it's inventive, and then it has poignant things to say.
Yeah.
And that all became more important later. But like it was the first movie where I wanted to know how they did it. How did they
Right.
do bullet time? How did they
Yeah.
make that
Yeah.
stuff happen? And I just that just maybe started to make me obsessed with wanting to be a filmmaker. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah,
That's I love that. That's
yeah.
beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Um, Number 2, name 5 of your favorite films. Not necessarily top 5 all time, but 5 that you love besides The Matrix.
So I'll bring up the one that if somebody ever asks me what my favorite movie is, this is typically the go-to answer. The Matrix is definitely one of them, but this is the one I always say because later on is the one I chose as more of an adult, and I having more of a movie taste. And over the years I've really gotten into film noir. Film noir is a genre that I just
Mm,
in all different ways love it because it's not really a genre, it's kind of like a style of movement. It can
yeah.
fit different molds. And so I like the how flexible it is. And so LA Confidential has always kind of been
So good.
one of my favorites. Not only because it's like it's a neo noir, it's a color picture, but it
Mhm.
harkens back to original film noir in that real way, and with dirty LA cops and just one of the best scripts ever written. Like it's
Yeah.
just so genius, so tight, um, and one of the best ensemble casts that you could ever put together. Kevin Spacey, James Cromwell, Guy Pearce, Russell Crowe, Kim Basinger. Like it's so iconic, and I
Yeah.
just could watch that movie back to back to back. Like, and then the reveals in the movie, the twists,
Mhm.
it's amazing. I love that movie.
There's something about LA noirs to begin with. I don't care if you're going back to like a Chinatown or you're looking at a lot of stuff that came out in the 80s or even how Maxine tried to cover that along with the whole angel aspect. There's
Yeah,
something special, just like how people talk about New York crime films I mentioned before, like 70s, 80s. There's something special about like LA noir in any decade.
yeah.
Um, To Live and Die in LA.
To Live and Die.
Another
Yep.
great one.
Yeah.
2, second movie.
Um, this one was. This is one that It's. I picked this one just because I watched it recently, and I was like, dude, I just love this movie. I want to just. This gives me a reason to bring it up. Um, and we talked about Quentin Tarantino. He's the type of he's part of this group of filmmakers of that time, that 90s wave of I look at this is how I categorize them. You got like the French New Wave, that you had these group of filmmakers that came in, and they like one of the big aspects about them is that they were critics. A lot of them famous ones were critics. So they were people making movies that were very aware of what became before them. So
Mhm.
they were very influenced by other filmmakers. Now you look at that wave that Tarantino's in, some of the filmmaker I'm about to talk about was in. They were influenced by the people that were influenced by other people. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, so there's like this like recycling of ideas. And so I think that this filmmaker is my favorite of that kind of that ilk of filmmakers, whether you're talking about Kevin Smith, you're talking about um, Quentin Tarantino. I love Edgar Wright. I think Edgar Wright,
So do I.
yeah, and
So do
his love,
I.
and unlike Tarantino, and yeah, he obviously wears his influences in his films, on his like on his show. He shows you what he loves, but
Mhm.
he does it in this like kind of like Guillermo del Toro. He does it with such like love, real love, and not like trying to like be gatekeepy or anything. Like,
Right.
and
Right.
so I love Scott Pilgrim versus the World so much.
So
Like,
much. Uh,
um,
all my kids know that, we could attend a quote along together,
exactly.
we occasionally just come up and say, "Ooh, coins,"
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah.
things
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that.
I mean, just like to me, I think I mean, I think to me, like the genius of his movies really comes down to his editing. I think the editing of his films
Yeah.
is so unique and so it taps into obviously a lot of modern style of like fast pacedness, but
Mhm.
that particular movie, it really works. I mean, Baby Driver, obviously,
Yeah.
it was like set to music and it was
Yeah.
like had a certain way, but Scott Pilgrim's edited in this way and has a visual style that really like, especially the comedy timing. The comedy
Yeah.
timing's so fast paced, there's a joke after joke, and they hit so well.
Yeah.
Was it Carrie Culkin?
Yeah. Karen Culkin.
His he is so funny in this movie.
Yes.
Like and
Aubrey
like just
Plaza, the way
Aubrey
she just pop up.
Plaza, Captain America, his little
Chris
appearance
Evans.
in
Yeah,
Chris.
yeah, yeah.
It's just and just Mae Whitman's in there playing one of the.
She's the best.
God, I love like
Shout out
there's
to
just
Bill Pope. He's the cinematographer of that movie.
yeah
Also, you mentioned the editing. I'm gonna have to look it up. Paul Mackless and Jonathan Amos, because the thing is, I think from Baby Driver on, he had a mobile editing bay on
yeah
set. So the one thing I love about Wright is that he works with his editors on on site, and if they didn't get the film the way, they didn't get the shot the way, they will reshoot just to make sure that it's edited properly. So they
yeah
literally had a MacBook Pro with a bunch of hard drives on like this little mobile chair, and they were editing on set, and that's
yeah.
how he's worked since Baby Driver. And you could see it, like you said, it's just beautiful. I love Edgar Wright films. I didn't see Running Man yet, though. That's the only one I didn't
I've
see.
seen Running Man. I would say honestly, it's my least favorite of his movies.
I
I mean,
think the comedic timing is what's missing. Same thing with Soho. I think it would have been, not to say that the storyline was supposed to be a comedy, but I
yeah,
think when he tackles comedy is when he's at his best.
yeah, yeah. I think Last Night in Soho is I'm fascinated by that movie
Hmm.
more than I like it. So I still kind of like put that in like I like that movie because it's kind of just I think that movie might grow on me over time, but everything else he's done, like whether it's A World's End or obviously Shaun of the Dead or
Hot
Hot
Fuzz,
Fuzz,
yeah.
like I just love his I love his how much he reveres film, and how much he shows his love for it in his movies,
Hmm.
and without being always too showy about it. Like sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. He's got his own. I think his edit, like I said, his editing is what sets him apart from his influences.
Yeah,
So, but I love that movie. Scott Pilgrim versus the World is so rewatchable. I
all
could
the
watch it
time,
all day, every day,
all the
and it would
time.
still be funny. Just and the music, just
Yeah,
that his band, Sex Bomb, like
yeah.
it's I love it.
And then, like, all of a sudden, you'll just get the random, we're transitioning scene in Seinfeld music.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. You got to break out with knives. No.
He just shows up. I love it.
Yeah, I love that
Continue.
movie.
Let's keep it moving.
Number
Third one.
3. So we'll keep it on the funny side. We'll keep it with the because I just some of my favorite movies like growing up. I think the more adult films that I grew up with were I talked about action movies, but I think a
Hmm.
lot I was shown more adult comedies early on in my life probably than I should have been. And so like you had your Adam Sandlers, you had your Jim Carreys. Them were like the big deals growing up. I watched all them movies. The third one in there is Eddie Murphy. Eddie
Yes.
Murphy was something I grew up with a lot, whether it was Nutty Professor, whether it was, Dr. Doolittle but the one to me that is his masterpiece, eh, eh,
Say
Coming to
it.
America.
Yeah, say it.
Is
Say it.
one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes.
He made that whole like playing different people in one movie
Hmm.
a thing, and he did it. I mean, like, look, the sequel's not great, guys. The
No,
sequel's,
no, it's
it's not.
terrible.
He kind of messed it up, but that first movie, I
Randy
mean,
Watson
his
experience.
spin on the fairy tale is so great. The characters are so great. I used to do the impressions of it all the time with my
You and
family,
I both. You and I
and
both. Sexual chocolate.
don't get me started, dude. I'll do this whole damn movie on here.
Okay,
I ain't here to
okay.
preach to y'all tonight, but you did you look at these contestants? I feel good. Turn around, ladies. Yeah, I can do the whole thing. And then the barbershop guys,
Oh
like
yeah.
this dude, like I thought I thought that was collection. He puts the chicken in there, and you're just like,
Mhm.
that's collections, donations.
His mama call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Mhm.
That's right. I say, Click, get out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's up there.
Love that
It is
movie.
up there. It is up there. Number 4.
All right, so let's get to something a little more serious. Let's get to my more cinephile side.
Oh, okay.
One of my, I would say, one of my greatest discoveries when it came to international cinema, and a lot of this happens, I think, through the Criterion. I think Criterion Collection. I think for a lot of us as physical media collectors, we've discovered a lot of our love for international cinema through their collection.
I agree.
And so when I discovered Satyajit Ray, it really changed me for sure. Like it really opened my eyes to wanting to explore more, because he's making these very gentle movies about, especially, started with the Apu trilogy.
Yeah, that's
Seeing
what I
this,
was thinking of.
yeah, and I'd seen Richard Linklater's Boyhood, and I've seen, like, movies that do that similar thing of kind of looking through seeing somebody's life and seeing it kind of in this long form way, kind of just like that slice of life kind of type of thing. But this was done over 3 movies, and I just, Satyajit Ray was really influenced by a lot of American film. So there is a little bit of that, like, knowledge of what the world was doing as well. So he had some sensibilities that feel very American, but also just a totally different perspective, a totally different part of the world that I am not in, at the time was not aware of the film there, and what was going on in that part of the world. And he's a Bengali filmmaker from India. So it's fascinated me. And from there, I just went down a whole rabbit hole of discovering all these other things. And the film I want to highlight here is The Big City. The Big City is a film that he did, I believe it was 63. I might be, it's the 60s, I believe. But it's a film where it's about kind of the family dynamic, the dynamic of the woman in the household. And at the time in Bengali culture, women were starting to go more out into the workforce, and it's about that. It's about that kind of struggle in the family dynamic, and I just love it so much. It's just he has this way of filming women too. Like, he's got this, like, way of exploring women in a lot of his films that feels so genuine and feels so just intimate. Like, he gets really in there, the way he shoots his films. And I love The Big City, and The Big City was really the movie that made me fall further in love with him.
Yeah.
And just wanting to explore more international cinema. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people who are into him really got hooked with Panta Panchali, and they just went from there.
For sure, it's definitely, I'm with you. But Big City, my favorite of his movies. Like, I just love that movie.
Yeah, I'm with you. When you were talking about how Criterion brings a lot of people into international, I immediately thought of people like Ozu and Kurosawa, and then I went, no, Wong Kar-wai, because when I first saw In the Mood for Love, ooh, that did something to me. That did something to me for real. One more.
All right. So this one was one. So I think a lot of us, people that love maybe not everybody, but that loves movies. We love movies about making movies. Like, we love to see the process. We love to see what happens behind the scenes. And, there's movies that focus on that and have fun with it, like The Disaster Artist, or you know, the Fablemans dramatizes a little. We get to see Spielberg's kind of like, kind of journey into why he loves movies and stuff and why he wants to be a filmmaker. But this particular movie kind of has more of like, because it's more of it's about indie filmmaking. It's relatable to me because I would consider myself not an indie filmmaker because haven't done anything that substantial, but like
Right.
I've done a lot of amateur stuff with friends and have shot things guerrilla style and kind of, and so Living in Oblivion, which is the 1995 film by Tom DeSilla, starring Steve Buscemi, where he plays a director of this indie movie, and you kind of see kind of the hardships of what it takes to like make an indie movie, and you see it through different perspectives. You see it through the actors, you see it through him, and in the way the story's told, it really just it's almost like a nightmare. It's in certain parts. It's like you're like, dude, this shows you how hard it is to make a movie, and I just felt so related. It's so relatable.
Yeah.
I love how how raw that movie is. And Steve Buscemi is kind of an underappreciated person outside of, like, we know him from like bit roles and supporting roles, or even maybe like the show he did. Was it what's the one, the Martin Scorsese produced show that he was on?
Boardwalk Empire.
Boardwalk Empire. People know him from that, but like, dude, the dude's directed movies. He's in the 90s. He was kind of like doing some really good stuff in the indie realm, and like,
yeah,
he's great in this movie. And I love movies about making movies. It really makes me fall back in love with movies over and over again. And this one particularly hits me in the right place when it comes to that. So
yeah. Back in October, I had an opportunity to see One Cut of the Dead on the big screen. If you ever seen that. And talk about movies about making movies. I mean, down to the last frame, you see what it takes, and it's like a collective to get something made. So I love that movie.
And there's like a scene where it's like they're just trying to get one shot.
Yeah.
One shot, and it just like every time they're about to start, something happens. The sound guy's not ready, or outside the door, a loud motorcycle comes past.
Yeah, the noise.
Or the actor isn't like in the right mind space, so you have to stop. Like, it's all them things just do one scene, like out of many scenes. It's like that shows you how hard it is. And it's panic inducing, kind of like an Uncut Gems thing in a way, but it's also like, dude, I've been there and I love it. Like, I love how honest it is.
Yeah. And the whole thing is you want more of it. You definitely want more of it. All right. Everyone's favorite question, number 3. Name a classic movie or a popular one that everybody likes, but you don't particularly like.
This was tough for me because, well, like you said,
for everybody.
Like, God, because like sometimes you don't like something and you don't really have like a reason to not like it, like other than you just don't. You're not on its wavelength.
Like Avatar.
Yeah, well, yeah, apparently it made a lot of money and a lot of people watch it, and we don't seem to be on its wavelength. But the one I decided to go with, and I do want to preface this by saying that I'm on a journey to maybe change my mind about this movie.
Sounds like me talking about Raising Cain. I'm on a journey.
I'm on a journey to see if I can change my mind, because I recently watched another one of these filmmakers' movies and really loved it. And I'm like, well, maybe I'm ready to go back and watch this filmmaker's stuff again. And that's Stanley Kubrick. Because I've never really been a super Stanley Kubrick fan. I've always been kind of like, I like The Shining. And I just recently watched Eyes Wide Shut for the first time.
Right.
And really loved it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to go back. And the movie I'm talking about is 2001: A Space Odyssey.
How did I know?
Yeah.
There are 3 movies I talk about all the time that it took attending film school for me to get appreciation for.
Yeah.
2001 is one of them. Casablanca is another one. I couldn't understand why people kept telling me that was a love story, and I didn't get it. I didn't see it. And then I started seeing it from the political aspects, and I'm like, oh, this is a great movie. Screw the Love Story, that's, like, minor, but the same thing with 2001, and all of a sudden, I was showing it to people, especially when the 4K came out, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Here comes the greatest match cut you've ever seen." "What's a match cut?" "Let me tell you." So, yeah, it took tuition for me to appreciate that movie, so I
It
understand, and now
yeah,
I watch it at night, it's one of my favorite late night movies to watch.
yeah.
That and, '79 Alien.
I don't know that one. I don't know that one. 79 Alien?
Yeah, 1979's
Oh,
Alien.
1979's Alien. I thought you that was
Yeah.
the name of the movie. I was like,
Oh, no,
79
no, no,
Alien?
no, 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 no.
So I was like, "What is
I
that?"
was about to say, "You don't know Alien?"
No,
Yes,
I
you
know
do.
Alien, of course, of course. Not the James Cameron one, right? The Ridley
No,
Scott
no,
one?
no, the Ridley
Thank God,
Scott one.
thank God. No, I like Aliens. Aliens is good.
Yeah.
Um, but, yeah, I mean, I am on a journey. I think of, soon I'm gonna go back and I mean, I've seen Paths of Glory.
Mhm.
That was fine. I've seen, what, The Killing?
Yeah.
I've seen that.
So what do you
I've
think
seen
about The Shining?
I like The Shining. Yeah, I
Okay,
like The Shining.
you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
there.
that's one of the ones I like. Um, I like Doctor Sleep even more.
Doctor Sleep is an excellent movie.
I love that movie. So but I think there's, like, a coldness to his films, kind of a distance in his films that I think that is kind of put me off about him. Like, I feel that at least.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm like I said, maybe I'm missing something. But, because I think his movies are very cerebral, it seems. Like, they're very heady
Him,
movies.
him.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
him.
yeah. So I think I might be in a better place to go back and watch his movies and be ready for him now, you
I
know?
would love to find out what you think after a rewatch.
Okay. Well,
I
I'll make sure I make it public.
Johnny brought up the movie I was thinking about, but I wasn't gonna bring it up. He says, "You gotta check out Barry Lyndon."
Okay. Yeah, I've heard about this one. I think when I brought this up during our Eyes Wide Shut, review, somebody was like, "Barry Lyndon's hilarious." So,
Yeah.
yeah, I need to watch it. If it's funny, then I can't wait. Yeah, I'll definitely get to it.
Flip it, number 4. Name a critically hated movie that you love.
So, I was trying to decide on what is considered hated, like, I don't know.
I usually go with, like, oh, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a low score
Okay.
or something like that.
Because a
That's
couple
usually a
things
good
came in mind.
basis.
I'm gonna name 2 just real fast.
Yeah, yeah.
One of them is a movie I think over time has got more popular, more people love it more now
Mhm.
than they did then. Roadhouse, the original score, Patrick Swayze Roadhouse, I
Yeah,
love.
it's campy.
Campy, sleazy, like, I love it.
Yeah.
That remake or whatever you wanna call it, it didn't hold
Oof.
a candle. Didn't even hold a candle.
I made the
Um,
mistake of watching them back to back with my wife, and I was like, because you got the VSU, the vinegar
yeah,
syndrome, and I was like, "This looks great. I love
yeah,
this movie," and we were enjoying it, and then all of a sudden, we turned on Amazon Prime, and we watched the Jake Gyllenhaal version, and
yeah.
I was like, "Ugh, this is not good."
Did you hear about what, who was the director of the new one? Um,
I don't even remember.
God, it's the guy that did the one of the, Bourne movies. Not Paul Greengrass, but the guy, Doug Liman.
Okay.
Doug Liman directed that first one, and so, like, there's been, like they wanna make a sequel to it, but there's been some clash creatively. So, Doug Liman's not doing that second movie, but what he is doing is a sequel to the original one.
Interesting.
While they're still gonna make their Jake Gyllenhaal sequel movie with
Yeah.
somebody else, he's like, "Fuck you guys. I'm gonna go over here and make a sequel to the original Roadhouse." So,
I'm gonna throw this up here, and I'm gonna put this on the screen. I'm gonna be right back.
okay. The double douche. I love that. My favorite part in Roadhouse, the original Roadhouse, is the part where he's like, I used to fuck like guys like you in prison. He's about to get in a fight with them. Oh, jeez. I love that.
I'm afraid to ask what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm talking about Roadhouse.
Okay.
I was reading, I said the double douche, and then I said, you know what my favorite part of Roadhouse is that scene at the end when they're fighting. He's like, I
Yeah.
fuck guys like you in prison. The guy he's fighting.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's
And
something cool to say before you fight somebody. Okay.
And Johnny's right. If you watch Barry Lyndon, don't pay any attention to the crappy Ryan O'Neal accent.
Well, you know what? I don't pay any attention to the bad accent in what's the Scorsese film, the Last Temptation of Christ.
Ooh.
That's one of the worst accents in a movie.
Yeah.
What's his name's? I'm blanking on the actor's name.
Defoe.
But
well, no. Oh my gosh, Harvey.
yeah,
Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel's accent.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
terrible.
it's New York uptown.
Yeah. What
It's
is he
like,
doing there?
It's like Denzel doing his, basically doing his voice in Gladiator too. He didn't
Exactly.
even try.
But the other movie I wanted to do, and this is kind of the more of the pick I was gonna go
Mhm.
first with was you know, I mentioned that I was shown a lot of like Stallone and stuff like that growing up. Over the Top, the arm wrestling
Stop
movie,
is so good.
the only arm wrestling movie. Like I don't know any other ones. I mean, please tell me, because this is the one, and it is gold. Like, I
It's so
love it.
good. And
So
it has
sweaty.
a killer soundtrack too.
Oh yeah,
Was that a Kenny Loggins song in there?
I think
Come
so.
on.
At the beginning, God, I'm trying to remember how I would sing it for you right now, but I don't want to mess it up. But it's dude, he's got a truck. He's going across America. I mean, this was like top tier, like good looking Stallone. Like he was in like the best shape of his life. Like after
Middle of the
Rocky
roids.
4, you
Yeah.
know, like, and he's like in his truck. And he's like fucking doing like arm, like he's got the little thing. He's like pushing weights while he's driving.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and it's so cheesy and stupid. And he's like arm wrestling people, and he like does a Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, turns his hat around, and then he can like beat everybody, you know. Which, by the way, Ash stole that from him. So
I'm glad you know.
yeah.
And you know the shaking of the arm so he could
And
flex
then
the
over the
veins.
thing where your hand goes over, and it like that somehow you can beat somebody by just doing that.
Mm,
Yeah.
so good.
It's
So
so
good. I want to thank everyone who's been hanging out with us, everyone in the chat, everyone lurking. We see you. Everyone on the replays, feel free to leave a comment. I'm going to throw this up again. You could follow anything Steven on his link tree here. Just go there. Check out Movie Mutations. Like I said, leave comments, leave feedback. It can only get better with your help.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Meet me halfway. That's what I was thinking of. I'm singing a song in my head, and I'm like, I don't want to sing it out loud, but I think it's Meet Me Halfway. Thank you. So this is the conversation. This is how it goes. Now that you've been on here, we're going to land the plane with number 5. Who would you like to see me have a conversation with on this channel?
Well, you know, like, look, there's a lot of people I would love to hear conversations with, but hitting it close to home, dude, you got to have Andrew on, man.
Yeah.
You got to have Andrew from the other half of Chasing Labels.
That's a given.
And I think just partly just because he don't like to talk about himself, so it would just be fun to see him squirm or, you know, whatever, a little bit, maybe. But no, he spends so much time doing the Chasing Labels thing that he's only been, I think he's been on Disconnected once. Otherwise, I don't think he has done many shows. So I think getting him on here to talk about himself, delve a little deeper into what makes Andrew Cabral himself, I think that would be nice. I'd like to hear that.
That would be fun too. I already wrote him down, so I don't have to write
Good.
him. I have my little notes of my now over 100 suggested guests, and growing. I'm trying to like cut into it, but then every once in a while I'll come across someone and I'm like, "Ooh, I like your channel. You should
Yeah.
come on the conversation." So,
So that's your unwatched pile.
yes,
Unwatched.
my unwatched guest
You
list.
just keep buying new ones. You
I
just
know.
keep
I
buying.
just keep adding new guests to come on, and but it's really nice when I finally say, you know what? 2 years ago, someone suggested you come on this channel,
Yeah.
and then it's like, ooh, we got to go back. Do you still like that person? You know. So. But I do want to thank you for coming on. This
Oh,
was fun.
I appreciate it.
Looking forward to judging and playing on movie Mutations.
And it right now it's a monthly thing. So next month, this month, now that we're in December, you will be getting one right before Christmas, hopefully, as long as
Hmm.
nothing my editing goes well. You'll be getting a mutation of the famous Home Alone, 1990s Home Alone,
Yes.
for your holiday treats. So we'll see what that gets turned into.
I want to see that turn into a slasher. You know,
Dude,
years ago
you'll
there was a trailer. Someone remixed a trailer to make it into like a horror movie. I would
yes,
love to see that, like some child murderer kind of action.
tune in.
That's why they left Kevin home, because he escaped the institution.
That's right.
He
Well, they're
was with
talking about
Michael
making a sequel
Myers.
now. Macaulay Culkin's all about coming back now. He's like, let's do a
Hey,
sequel.
why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Yes, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us. Leave some comments, leave some likes, all that good stuff. And until the next time, go watch a movie. Go watch a boutique label. What does it say on the back of this shirt?
Keep on watching them movies.
I love it.